Hello everyone, so you are doing fine. My name is Bharat, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic. So, you remember Manrega? We have read so many times that it is embedded in our memory. Basically, it is a guarantee for rural livelihood. But instead of that, today we will discuss another scheme that is VVZRAMZ, means Viksit Bharat, Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission Gramin, which came in 2025. But like we will discuss how this scheme is different from Manrega, what are the benefits of this scheme, and like what are the challenges and way forward of this scheme. But before we going to discuss this VVG Ramji, let us see what is Manrega. So Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Act, it came in 2005. So, what are the provision of this scheme? Basically, it provides 100 days of wage employment in a year to a rural livelihood. The next thing is that it reduces rural poverty and unemployment. Another thing, it stops migration from village to the cities. Then, very importantly, under this scheme, uh, state bore the material cost, administrative expenses, and unemployment wages. Apart from that, under this scheme, wages to be paid within the 15 days with the compensation for the delay as well. And then under this schemes, additional work days is allowed during the what I can say during the drought, calamities, or for the tribal forest area. And basically, this scheme is demand driven based on the labor budget submitted by the state. Now, moving ahead, we will see the VVZ Ramji. So, like now, how this scheme is different from the Manrega? Basically, first of all, the Manrega scheme is repealed and this scheme is launched. So, under this scheme, what I can say, it will provide the 125 days of employment. In case of Manrega, the employment was of 100 days, but in this scheme, there's an extra 25 days more. So, like it provide 125 days of employment in the entire year. And under this scheme, allocation of the sources is what divided. In the Manrega, the funding is fully funded by the central government, means 100% of the funding done by the center. But under this scheme, the provision has been changed. So, like how the fund is divided between the center and the state. Basically, in northeastern and the Himalayan region, the funding will be 90 raised to 10%, means 90% funding done by the center and 10% by the state. But in case of other state with legislature, the ratio would be 60-40, means 60% funding is done by the center and 40% funding done by the state. But in union territories without legislature, 100% funding is done by the center. So this is the how this is differ in the terms of funding share from the Manrega. Now, apart from this, if any extra expenditure is there beyond the allocation by the center, then it would be taken by the state. In this case, in the in VVG Ramji. But another thing, there is a lot of criticism under this scheme, because under this scheme there is a 60 days of pause period in the high agriculture time during the sowing and harvesting. But in case of Manrega, this kind of provision is not there, and here this provision is there, means you 60 days of off is there in the entire year for whenever there is a sowing and harvesting period. So and how comes to we know that when the 60 days pause will be there? So state will notify it based on the agroclimatic condition, local cropping pattern, and so that it ensure the availability of farm labor. So like these are the provision of this scheme. Now we will discuss what are the benefits of this scheme, that is VVG Ramji. So under this scheme, more employment is there, means 25 additional days, guaranteed work days, instead of 100 days, which was happened in the Manrega. And next thing, there is a faster income flow. Just within the 7 days, means the amount would be transferred in your account within the 7 days. But in case of Manrega, uh, there will be 15 days your amount has been transferred in your account, but here only 7 days. So there is a fast income flow. Next thing, there is a fiscal discipline. How fiscal discipline? Because now in this scheme the funding is shared between the center and between the center and the state. So obvious is that there is kind of fiscal discipline, because and therefore it improves the sustainability. So when state is going to expand expenditure, the money, the state will mind it. But in case of Manrega, what happens is that when the 100% is funding done by the center, so state not take granted, not take seriously. But here there is a fiscal discipline. Next thing, better planning would be there under this scheme. And apart from that, there is agricultural support. How will agriculture support? Because there is 60 days post work, post will be the 60 days post period will be there. So due to that, the labor availability is there. Therefore, it support the agriculture support. Next thing, it reduces the migration from the rural to the cities. You can say because of the, like, more days are there for the employment. Next things, that is like stronger livelihood is there in the villages. So these are the benefit of this scheme. Now we will see what are the challenges of this scheme. So challenges basically, like, if I say, the first challenge would be the, mm, here challenges means like higher financial burden is there on the state. How? Because see, in case of Manrega, 100% funding is done by the center. But in case of VVG Ramji, now the funding is allocated between the center and the state. So like those states who are not able to take the burden, they face a serious problem, because now the wages will be, now what I can say, uh, like the funding is divided. Now next thing is that there is a reduce the work windows. Why? Because here there is a post day time of 60 days, and because of this it reduces the work window for the 60 days. Next thing is that there is a problem in the implementation of this policy, because there is a lack of coordination between the center and state, as if this is, if under this scheme, because this is new, so like, more possibly there may be a complexity as well in this scheme, therefore. And next thing is that there is risk of payment delays. Why? Because under this scheme, now this time we are using the information intelligence. So no doubt it will be, by using this AI, there will be more transparency, accountability. But maybe there are some technical issue or glitch, and because of that there may be a risk of payment as well. And of course there is a regional disparity as well under this scheme as a challenges. Now what are the way forward that this scheme can be strengthened? So basically, first of all, we need to strengthen the center and state relationship. There would be awareness campaign in the villages, so villagers comes to know about this scheme, because from the many decades, I mean to say from the 2 decades, every villagers know about the Manrega, like what are the provisions, how many days, how much wages is provided. In this case it is very important to make the awareness in the villages. Next thing is that using the technology in tracking work and wages support, I mean to wages payment. This is also important, like, technology plays an important role while tracking the entire working system, or I can say the payment wages. And there will be regular audit and, you can say, monitoring by the government, so that efficiency will be maintained. I hope you will like all this. You will like what I said about this scheme, and also you might be, you can easily compare with the Manrega as well. So here, but I'm not going to discuss the political aspect, because you are very well about that. So my, this is not my job. Here I am with the provision, and like what are the benefit of this scheme. Thank you.